About the AFC South. So I think.
There's a history in this league of
Brought him up.
That's an example.
So
I didn't want to make
finish
him the
this.
subject.
For those who believe, for those who are ready.
You have no idea what song
I
it is.
have no idea what song it is.
It's a hot song right now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back on another episode of the Doug Saravo Show, which is brought to you by our good friends, Unsolicited Role Models, the role models you may not want, but you may just need. As always, I'm the host, Douglas K. Saravo. So today we are going to answer ban emails, tweets, text messages, whatever I get to today. It's been a while since I've actually answered some of your emails. The last time I did this was maybe 2 years ago with Kyle Esposito. And today we're not getting political. We're not going on about life or faith, whatever it may be. I am answering your sports questions. So we're going to get started right away. So we're going to start with, let's see what we got here. We got a few emails, a few tweets. All right, so let's get started. We're going to start with Brandon from New York. Do the Giants draft Shedeur? So it varies who he goes to. I think the Giants are at number 4? Giants have the 4th overall pick. So if he falls in the Giants' lap, then I could see him being a Giant. But I think Tennessee has the number 1 pick. They're going to want a quarterback. Number 2, I believe, is Vegas. Or are they going to draft a quarterback? So that could be Shedeur or that could be Cam. 3rd pick, I believe, is Cleveland. Or they want to get another quarterback. New England's not getting a quarterback. They got Drake May. So if Shedeur falls to us, then I could see the Giants drafting Shedeur. But with this GM, I don't know. There's favorites. I heard Joe Shane is liking Jackson Dart from Ole Miss. There's been rumors going on about that quarterback. So I could see the Giants drafting someone that we don't expect them to draft. But I do believe the Giants have to sign or trade for a bridge quarterback. Whether it's Russell Wilson, Kirk Cousins, or whoever it may be, you have to bring in a bridge quarterback because I'm not throwing someone in there. Do they maybe pay for Sam Darnold? Could he be a long-term guy? He's only, 26? So it varies. It varies on who the Giants want to go after. The fans want them to draft a quarterback. But are they going into that direction? I'm not sure what this ownership group is going to do, what the general manager is going to do, what Dable wants. This is the time for Dable and Shane were shown to use their own quarterback. They came in, they had Jones. So now this is their time to use their own quarterback, develop their own quarterback. So for the Giants, they need a franchise quarterback. They can't do a Tommy DeVito, a Drew Lock, a Daniel Jones. They're not going to get anywhere with those type of quarterbacks. They're just not. They're not in that situation yet. They're just not. Again, if you're just joining us, this is the Doug Saravo Show, which is brought to you by our good friends at Unsolicited Role Models, the role models you may not want, but you may just need. We are answering Twitter questions and emails. So let's go to, again, and you can follow us on all your podcast applications, YouTube and Facebook Live, Saravo Broadcasting, the Doug Saravo Show. So let's go to, we're going to go to John. John from Pennsylvania. Do the Saints need a new quarterback? So here's the thing with the Saints. Derek Carr is their guy. I think they have him for another year. I really like what Spencer Rattler can bring to the table. I think Spencer Rattler can be the franchise guy. I think he could be the franchise guy. The only thing is the Saints need a few more pieces. They need a few more receivers. They need an elite guy. Like the Giants have Malik Neighbors. So they need a top guy. Chris Olave isn't that guy. He's just not that guy. So if the Saints are going to do anything within the draft, if they're going to do anything within the offseason, it's to get a running back, or they have a running back, but they need someone else. They need like a tight end. They need a receiver. The Saints, I'm not too worried about at the quarterback position. I think Spencer Rattler is their guy. I truly like Spencer to be the guy for the Saints moving forward. It's just a matter of what they want to do as an organization, how they're going to build a team. They have a new head coach, or they're waiting on a head coach. They have an interim. They don't have an actual head coach. So the Saints, before they decide who their quarterback is, like for me, I think it's Spencer Rattler. He's their guy. It varies on what do they want to do. What do they want to do at the head coach position? Who are they going to bring? What type of head coach is going to lead that team, lead that organization? Is it going to be a defensive-minded coach, offensive-minded coach, guy that plays both sides of the ball, conservative? What type of coach are they going to look for before they solidify that position at the quarterback? I think they're set with Spencer Rattler, but that could just be my opinion. All right, next email we're going to is, let's see, Chris from NJ. Don't ask that. You're an idiot. Do the Jets win a Super Bowl? No, we're not gonna get into that. Moron. All right. We're gonna go to Sarah. Sarah from Las Vegas. With the addition of Pete Carroll, do the Raiders bring in Russell Wilson? Great question, Sarah. So here are my thoughts on it. Because the Raiders, they do need a franchise guy. Could it be Cam Ward? Could it be Shedeur Sanders? Could it be Sam Darnold? Who knows? I don't know. But they can't go in with a Gardner Minshew. They can't go in with a Jimmy Garoppolo. Even though Garoppolo is on the Rams, but they can't bring in that type of guy because they've experienced with that type of quarterback. Get rid of Aiden O'Connell. So for me, I look at Russell Wilson as the guy that could fit this system. Yes, they don't have the same roster, the same players around, but they have Pete Carroll as a head coach. And Russell Wilson knows that system. Russell Wilson knows how to run that team, how to run the system of Pete Carroll. They've won playoff games together. They've won Super Bowl games together. So, Sarah, if you're a big Vegas fan, I think that's a good move for you. I think if you bring in Russell Wilson, he could maybe be at the helm for maybe, let's say, 2 or 3 years. That gives them enough time to develop a quarterback like Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward. I think if the Raiders were to move in that direction, I think they could be a solid team for the next few years. Now, are they going to be a playoff contender? No, but I think they'll at least compete. They will at least win football games. There's no reason why they can't be a competitive team with Russell Wilson. Think about the offense for a minute. They have Brock Bowers, and I think that's a solid tight end. He's very underrated. You got Russell Wilson at quarterback. His old coach and Pete Carroll. He knows the system. He knows the game plan. I think that's a good fit for the Raiders. And then if they want to develop a quarterback, then you draft a guy like Cam Ward or you draft a guy like Shedeur Sanders. They have the pieces in place to bring in a quarterback like Russell Wilson. He could teach the young guys what it takes to win. I think that relationship between him and Carroll could affect guys like Brock Bowers. I think Brock Bowers could be a top 5 tight end, a top 10 tight end. So for me, they have the pieces in place. It's just a matter of time of where the team is going to go or where the organization is going to go. They have the pieces. They have the team. They have the organization mindset to want to win, but they just need to get the right guy to lead, and that's Pete Carroll. And I think secondly would be Russell Wilson. And then you also have Brock Bowers. So they have a few pieces in place, just not all of them. Just not all of them. So I see Russell Wilson as a good quarterback, a good bridge quarterback. But again, he's going to be on the radar of a lot of teams. I think the Steelers end up keeping Justin Fields. So to answer Jimmy's tweet, I think the Steelers are going to keep Justin Fields. Russell Wilson will be looked at by teams like the Giants, maybe the Jets, the teams that need a bridge quarterback, not a franchise guy. So like the Giants are one. If you get Shador, then maybe you bring in Wilson to be the starter for a year or two before you throw Shador in there. What else we got? All right, we got some tweets. This is Alex from Philly. My thoughts on the Super Bowl. So the way I look at it is this. I think the Eagles have a good shot. I think the Eagles have a good shot. But they have a shot because of Saquon Barkley. I think Jalen Hurts is very overrated. I think A.J. Brown is underrated. They don't utilize him as much. And what the Eagles do, is they rely solely on Saquon Barkley. So, if you're the Chiefs, all you have to do, and thanks again for the tweet, Alex. If you're the Chiefs, all you have to do is stop Saquon Barkley. If you stop Saquon Barkley, you're going to have the best chance to win the Super Bowl. Now, I understand the whole controversy, this or that, but you can't count out Patrick Mahomes. You just can't count him out. He is not going to be, but he will be one of the greatest of all time, because I still think Tom Brady is up here. I still have Tom Brady here. Patrick Mahomes a little bit. So I think if the Chiefs stop Barkley, it won't be competitive. I truly believe the Chiefs are going to win Super Bowl 59. I think they're going for 3 straight. I don't see anyone stopping them. I just don't. Again, if you're just joining us, this is the Doug Saravo Show, which is brought to you by our good friends at Unsolicited Role Models, the role models you may not want, but you may just need. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then when we come back, we have much more to get to on the Doug Saravo Show. Send in your tweets, send in your questions, send in your thoughts. We'll be right back. We will be right back.
Malibu at the diner part of the casino.
That they're gonna slip back a little bit. Ben,
Do you ever ask yourself the question as to
For this town, things that haven't been done before.
feel like
It's more than just Joe Biden, though. Like, it's just like people,
Overpay for DeGrom, and I think this is a great way for us to gather some
I'll be looking for another job after this is over, I can tell you that.
Here, with your name behind it, hoping that
Why did Trump fire Fauci? He could have gotten rid of him.
There's a lot of things you can have checked out. So,
talk whatever we want.
It's sports. Well, I'll tell you, no matter, I don't have to worry about my feelings to understand that.
But to go and like react from a fiscal standpoint and from a civil rights standpoint to close everything, I find it hard to get behind.
Democrats. Thanks to Democrats. Thanks to the Democrats, by the way.
Nancy Pelosi should not be 84 years old and still be sitting as the House Speaker.
Like an idiot.
I'm an idiot.
Actually, like can get in there and like do things. Like Donald Trump Jr. Like
Puerto Rican. You're Latino.
I'm an American.
I would like Ivanka to run.
Yeah, or Tulsi Gabbard. She's.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back on the Doug Saravo Show, which is brought to you by our good friends at Unsolicited Role Models, the role models you may not want, but you may just need. So we are answering your tweets, your emails. You can follow us on all your podcast applications, YouTube and Facebook Live, Saravo Broadcasting, the Doug Saravo Show. All right, let's get to another tweet. We got Phil from Florida. Thoughts on Baker Mayfield? So my thoughts on Baker Mayfield is this. I think he has proven to all the haters, to all the doubters, and to himself that he could be an elite franchise quarterback. But here's the thing on Baker. Will he win when it counts? Will he win when it matters? I feel like he can, but I feel like he needs more talent around him than Mike Evans, than Chris Godwin. I feel like he needs to play for like a top 5 defense and a top 5 offense. I mean, I think he has had the most passing touchdowns in the last 3 years or so. Like, I think it's like 68 or 70. But he's proven that he's a franchise guy. The only thing for me is I think he's like Josh Allen in a way. I don't think he's going to play in that big game. I don't think he's going to get to a Super Bowl. And I think if you're a franchise like Tampa Bay, in order to get there, I think you have to bring in more talent, more receivers, and more defensive guys. Just because that's the type of talent and the type of player that Baker Mayfield is. He's good to keep you successful in the regular season, but is he going to get the job done when it comes to January, February, even in December? Like Matthew Stafford, he's that guy. I think in those games, his record is 19-3. He's 19-3 in December, January, February since he became a Rams quarterback. Of course, he has good talent around him, but he's that guy. He's that guy that can change a franchise. Like, I think Jared Goff is holding down the Lions from winning a Super Bowl. He's good enough to get you there, but is he going to get over the hump? Is he going to win that big game? For me, I don't think so. I really don't think so. All right, thank you, Phil. My next question is, this is going to be a tweet. Answered a few emails. Let's get some tweets. Let's see what we got. We got Adam. Adam in Buffalo wants to know my thoughts on Josh Allen. So a lot of people like to blame the refs. A lot of people like to call Patrick Mahomes a cheater. Everybody likes that. But I want to go back to the AFC Championship game. Yeah, you've had controversial calls, but you had 3 minutes and 33 seconds to come back and go down the field and win the game. So I understand you could blame the refs for the missed call. But for me, Josh Allen is not the quarterback to take that team over the hump. Josh Allen is an overrated quarterback. He is great in the regular season, but he does not have that game-winning drives in him for some reason. He's not a Tom Brady. He's not an Eli Manning. He's not a Peyton Manning. He's not a Patrick Mahomes. Remember, there was 3 minutes and 33 seconds left, and he couldn't take his team down the field and lead them to a victory. That's why I believe Josh Allen is an overrated quarterback. He can't take you down that last drive when it matters, when it counts. Great regular season quarterback, but he just can't go over the hump. And I understand I understand the controversy, but that's not always the excuse. That's not always the excuse. You had 3 minutes and 33 seconds to take your team down the field and lead them to victory. Josh Allen did not do that. Josh Allen does not have that in him. Tom Brady has done it. Eli Manning has done it. Peyton Manning has done it. Joe Burrow has done it. Patrick Mahomes has done it. I don't think Josh Allen, even Lamar Jackson, I do not think Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson is at that level where they could win games at the end of the game. They just can't. You can make all the excuses you want. You can blame the refs all that you want. But Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills had 30 minutes and 33 seconds left to go down the field and win the game. He just didn't get the job done. Make all the excuses you want, but that's that. That is that. All right, what else do we got? Again, if you're just joining us, this is the Doug Saravo Show, which is brought to you by our good friends at Unsolicited Role Models, the role models you may not want, but you may just need. We're answering Twitter questions, emails, send in your thoughts, send in your questions, send in anything you want me to discuss. It could be sports, it could be faith, it could be politics, whatever, even religion, but that goes with faith. Whatever you want me to talk about. I think I'm going to do a show Wednesday with Kyle, so if you have any questions, emails, I'll get to them, and we could discuss them. So, again, send in whatever you have for us. Thank you for supporting the Doug Saravo Show. You can follow us on all your podcast applications. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then when we come back, I want to give my thoughts on the New Jersey Devils because they have been playing inconsistent hockey. We will be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back on the Doug Saravo Show, which is brought to you by Unsolicited Role Models. The role models you may want, the role models you may not want, but you may just need. All right, so let's get into it. Let's get into the New Jersey Devils. Now, of course, we're sitting in playoff position because we had a great start to the regular season. We had a great start. You know, Paul Cotter was scoring goals. Jack was scoring goals. Nico was putting pucks behind the net. Dougie wasn't looking sloppy out there. Now he is. And then Washington went on a hot streak. Carolina has added depth to Miko and Taylor Hall. Devils are in third place with 64 points. Definitely not going to get to first place. Second place, But what worries me is that the Islanders keep on winning. The Rangers, they're still alive. The Rangers are still alive. Columbus, 5 points behind the New Jersey Devils in the wild card. So if the Devils are inconsistent and they keep losing to teams that they shouldn't lose to, like the Sharks, the Flyers, the Sabres, the Senators, this Devils team could fall and miss the playoffs. And anyone who knows me knows how much I love my Devils. But this is looking like a team that could miss the playoffs. Am I overreacting? Or am I speaking reality? This is a Devils team that could miss the playoffs. And if they do miss the playoffs, we need to make changes. We need to get rid of Andre Palat. The guy is getting paid $5 million a year. That's 5. And he's almost 36, 37. Or he's maybe 33, 34. But he is getting overpaid. $5 million. Great guy in the locker room, but he looks lost out there on the ice. He's been quiet. Now, another guy that I think lost a step was Dougie Hamilton. He's getting paid like $7 or $8 million for the next 3 or 4 years. He's got a 7-year contract. He's in year 3 or 4. So that contract, I think, is going to affect us. But what I don't understand is this. I do not understand this one bit. Why is Simon Nemec in the AHL? What are we doing? What's this New Jersey Devils front office doing? Why is that guy in the AHL? Why isn't he someone we can call up and have him play defense? Like, what are we doing? How come we're not making moves? Like, this is a team on paper that looks like could get to the conference finals. In my delusional mind, I think they could win the Stanley Cup. But the more I see it, this team is not ready for a playoff run. If we face off with the Carolina Hurricanes in the first round, in the first 2 games in Carolina, I would not be surprised if we lose in the first round this year. We are looking like a first round exit. We are also looking like a team that can miss the playoffs. Columbus is playing good hockey. The Rangers are still playing good hockey. The Islanders are still alive. So if this Devils team wants to make a playoff run, they need to wake up. This 2-week bye of the 4 nations is going to help us. We need Jacob Markstrom back. We need Nico Hischier back. But even when those guys are in the lineup, sometimes we do look lost out there. We're losing to teams we should beat. But we're beating the teams we should beat. Or we're beating the team. Yeah, we're losing the teams we shouldn't be losing to. And we're beating the teams we should be beating. Or we're beating the teams that we shouldn't beat. Just because how good they are. Like, we look good against the Rangers. We look good against these top dogs in the National Hockey League. The NHL, like, look at the top teams and we actually compete with them. So what I don't understand is when is this Devils team going to find their stride and be a consistent team to get to where they want to be? Because they are not that far away. We have depth. We have pieces. But it's just a matter of where will they end up? Are they going to miss the playoffs? Are they going to be the team that misses out by like 2 or 3 points? Are they going to be that team? They are looking like it. The Devils are looking like they could miss the playoffs. And I don't want to be that team. But more and more, it's looking like they can. Again, I'm Doug Saravo, the host of The Doug Saravo Show, which is brought to you by our good friends at Unsolicited Role Models. The role models you may not want, but you may just need. You can follow us on all your podcast applications, YouTube and Facebook Live. Saravo Broadcasting, Doug Saravo Show. Today we answered Twitter questions and we answered some of your emails. We're going to get more to them, so send in more of them. And we're going to make that a segment where we could answer your questions regardless of the episode, whether it's about politics, talking Donald Trump, his policies, his cabinet, whatever it may be. Faith, religion, sports, devil, send in anything. And that could be, even too, when you watch us live, send in your comments, whether you're watching it on Facebook or YouTube. So we're going to answer more of your questions for the show. So follow us on all your podcast applications, YouTube and Facebook Live. The Doug Saravo Show is brought to you by our good friends at Unsolicited Role Models. The role models you may not want, but you may just need. So we'll see everybody next time. And thank you for always supporting us here at The Doug Saravo Show and Saravo Broadcasting. See everybody next time. Good night and God bless.